Go ahead and get things started. It is 7 p.m. Thank you so much for coming to the Kansas City School District Board of Education meetings in the month of September 2022. Let's go ahead and have a roll call, please.
Mr. Ledley? Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
Mr. Dick? Mr. Hensel? Yes. Mrs. Heidinger?
Pledge of Allegiance. Item 3, approval and correction of the minutes of the regular meeting that was held on August 15th, 2022. Could I have a motion, please? Dick, thank you. A second?
Hensel.
Hensel. Any discussion? Any corrections? Everybody get a chance to look at them? We all good? Okay. Then we'll go ahead and call for a vote.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes.
Mr. Dick? Yes. Mrs. Hensel? Mr.
Yes.
Hensel? He took your vote.
I know.
Mr. Hensel?
Yes.
Mrs. Heidinger?
Yes.
Mr. Ledley?
Yes.
Okay, item 4, principal, supervisor, faculty report, student showcase. I believe Mrs. Hull has her class here for us to present today. The floor is yours.
Good evening.
I think it is.
Does it sound on? I can be loud. I'm nervous about these guys. All right, good evening. Tonight you will be hearing from a very fun and creative crew. My name is Tina Hall, and I have had the honor of coaching our middle school's Power the Pen team for the last couple of years. And that is a competition writing group. They compete 3 times throughout the school year. In the past 2 years, 7th and 8th graders have represented Kenton City schools at the state level. To get there, writers must advance beyond the district and regional levels while competing against hundreds of other writers from around Ohio. The students you will hear from tonight are eager to present and are hoping that someday they might have a chance to compete in a high school level team called Just Right Ohio, which does not exist yet, but that would be a new group for the school. For now, I'd like to turn it over to them and introduce the first speaker, Natalie Dyer, and assistant.
Good evening. Quentin is going to bring you a sticky note. When you receive your sticky note, please write down 2 random people, places, or things. It could be anything that comes to mind. Just try to choose ideas that those in attendance will recognize.
Thank you very much.
To choose 2 random people, places, or things.
People, place, or thing, right? People, place, or thing? Okay.
2 of them, she said.
2, yeah.
I don't have a pen. I don't care that.
Oh, he's wanting to cheat. No.
Now you know this is going to be a test.
All right, your time is up. Please pass your sticky note to another board member.
Thank you.
Trade. There you go. They were trading? Yep.
We're trading. You didn't trade.
I traded with Chad.
Oh, you did?
You want to trade with somebody else?
Well,
Give me one of those.
I traded.
Who's got 2 sticky notes?
Oh, you didn't do it? That's all right. You go for it.
It's pretty amazing. These are the people running your school
Well,
district.
yeah, exactly. Here, we can share this one, okay? I'll share it with Jill, okay?
Okay.
All right. Now, if you are in Power of the Pen practice, the 2 ideas that are written on your sticky note must make an appearance in your story. The sticky note I got in practice had me writing about Abraham Lincoln and a cheeseburger.
Nice.
The point of this activity is to make us better at writing a story about anything. It helps us think of and come up with new ideas. We won't make you write 40 minutes today. Instead, I'm going to introduce our next speakers, Katie Lowe and Trevor Rosner.
Yours were easy. That's good. Whoever wrote that. Could have made that. Was that yours? Yeah.
Yours would have been easy.
Power of the Pen's mission is to empower young people to find and develop a creative voice that is uniquely their own by engaging students in scholastic writing tournaments and providing a platform of publication.
In a competition, students are given a prompt and a 40-minute time limit to write. One of our prompts for our competition was, "You're free. What do you do with your newfound freedom?" When I got this, the only thing I could think of was when I was a little kid and I wanted to get out of daycare. So I made a story about a kid thinking daycare was prison. Anyway, Power of the Pen values fictional and creative writing. The Kent Middle School team has 6th, 7th graders and 6 8th graders, as well as alternative writers who practice with the team and serve as a substitute if needed for competitions. Now let me introduce our next speakers, Gaia Smith and Kaylee Thomas.
One of the activities we do in Power of the Pen is called Story Chain. It goes like this. You write for 1 minute, then you give what you wrote to another person, and they write for 1 minute. You keep switching for 5 minutes.
Then we read the story aloud to the rest of the team. This activity helps us to think fast and introduce with new and sometimes confusing prompts, and to continue writing on an idea that you did not come up with. At this time, each writer likes to share their favorite part of Power of the Pen. First up is Gabriel Davidson.
In my 7th grade year of Power of the Pen, I was working on a story by myself, and the techniques and skills I learned from the group made my story significantly better.
My favorite part of being in Power of the Pen was going to the state competition to be a runner. It was really fun, and I got to be with my friends and walk around campus.
My favorite part of Power of the Pen was when you wrote a story based off an image. I got a hamster in a can floating in the water. I wrote about the hamster going to a knockoff Hogwarts called Pig Pimples for Necromancy. It's probably one of my favorite stories I've ever written.
All right. Now, the favorite thing I did during my time of Power of the Pen last year was writing a story about, you might not know this guy, Rick Astley. He was stuck on the moon. But later he gets saved, which inspires him to make a hit song called Never Gonna Give You Up. I love Power of the Pen.
My favorite memory in Power of the Pen was one of the first practices. We got a comic sheet where we had to fill in the speech bubbles with words.
I really like Power of the Pen overall. It gives me a chance to write in my own style and share out in a competitive way. I like being able to twist the prompt into my own style and turn it into something unique. One of my favorite prompts was I've Never Been So Humiliated, where I wrote about a girl being turned into a clown.
Well, my favorite part of Power of the Pen is watching students find their voices. The students before you all had to try out for the team. As a result, they had to beat out some of their classmates, just as they will have to do again this year. There are many students at Kenton City Schools that enjoy and are good at creative writing, but sometimes others' writing gets a bad rep. Those who have a distaste for the subject tend to dislike the other styles of writing. In a traditional language arts classroom, mine included, you can find students writing to persuade or to inform, which are valuable life skills, but the word essay just doesn't generate the same excitement as a prompt, like you have to hide it, but where? Narrative writing is a common state standard, but it's not one that appears on the end of your test. So when students are given opportunities to write creatively, they gain empathy, vocabulary, and imagination, but most importantly, they grow confidence because they find their voices. So, thank you for listening.
If you guys could go ahead and stay right up there for a second. I want to get a picture with the board with you guys. So board members, if you would please go over and I think Ryan usually is our picture guy. Maybe not coming. Not sure. No.
That's not really fair.
Okay. Thank you guys very much. Really appreciate it. You guys did a great job. You do not have to stay if you don't want to, but you're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you'd like. But now, if you'd like, you can head out.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Great job.
Just don't pull it out from under me.
Justin, I'm assuming there's nobody on public. Excuse us.
Okay, we'll go ahead and continue. Item 5, public participation. We didn't have anybody sign up tonight, so we'll move forward to reports of the treasurer.
I just want to say one thing, kind of looping with what Chad's update to you for files being scanned. I think I've said it before, but it's just a reminder that this fiscal year, we've made a very conscientious effort when we're paying bills that we scan in all of the invoices, which means we won't have to keep them as long as we need to, like normally. So we are doing our part to lessen the load of what kind of file space that we'll need for the future, which in essence will help us when we move. We won't have as much items to move either. Should make it a little bit easier. So we are doing that as well.
How long
Other
do they
than that-
require you to keep them for an audit?
Right in there, we've got a lot of file cabinets.
No, he said
but
how long?
How long? Oh, it depends. Like the main purchase orders that we pay, 10 years, but we won't have to keep them that long. Yeah, 10 years. It's a long time. But I do have a process started for those that aren't scanned. Everything's nicely labeled, and we have a system in place where we'll have people come out and shred them.
You have to keep the paper for 10 years even if you scan it?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Normally, it'd be 10 years.
Okay.
Yes.
But since you're going to have it, okay.
Yeah, so it's 1 year after it's been audited that you would have to keep it on file. And the nice thing is, a lot of our auditors like to do things off-site. Well, they won't have to come in and get this stuff, and we won't have to scan it, because they already can get in our system and click on the attachments. So it'll be really nice for that.
I know we've talked about that in previous meetings, but just in case anybody wants to get updated on that, what we're talking about publicly, it's just something that we're converting all of our paper files electronically now. We've got a service coming in and doing that for us. It's going to save us time and money and tons of space in the new building. We have 400 filing cabinets or something? No, not that many, but it seems like we have a lot of filing cabinets.
Yes.
So that's the process that we're getting started with now. So.
Yep.
Okay. Anything else, Jill?
That's it.
Okay. All right. I guess we need a motion to move forward with that one, right?
Yes.
Heidinger, thanks. Tasha, a second?
Hensel?
Hensel, I got Hensel first. Any further discussion? If not, we'll move for a vote. Okay, let's go ahead and vote.
Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mr. Hensel?
Yes.
Mrs. Heidinger?
Yes.
Mr. Ledley?
Yes.
Mr. Carmine?
Yes. Item 7, Superintendent's Report and Communication.
Yep. I'm going to
actually talk just for a second about the filing cabinets, because it's kind of fun. That back room there is just full of filing cabinets. It's actually Colt's new office, so he nicknamed it the land of 1,000 filing cabinets. But they came in, I think it was last week, and I mean, I don't know how many total boxes, but most of those filing cabinets are now empty, which is fantastic. So we're actually going to be looking to sell them. So we're going to probably put out to our internally, to staff and stuff first, but then after that, we're going to release them out to the public for sale. So we'll be looking for that in the next couple of weeks, but we've got a lot of filing cabinets we no longer need. So it's a great thing. I wanted to just highlight homecoming week, because that's where we're at. Kind of having a fun week right now. I got to wear a little tie-dye for decades, day to day. Several people did some different things as far as the high school goes, but then the elementary, I think, did pajamas. Pajama day, yeah. So everybody looked pretty cozy over there when I went over. So everybody's kind of having fun with the dress-up days. Just as a reminder, on Thursday, what's on Thursday? I just forgot. I'm sorry. There we go. Good job, Mr. Leddy. Or Ledley. Ledley. You guys got to separate. But yes,
It's
thank
all
you.
right. I called him Mrs. Hensel, so whatever.
I'm sorry. Yes, we're having a bonfire on Thursday night. And then Friday, of course, we have the game, but also the parade. So everybody can look forward to watching the parade, and obviously we'll.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock starts the ceremony at the field, I believe, around that time anyway. Or no, 6 o'clock's the parade start.
Start time.
6 o'clock's parade start, and then they'll do the crowning of the Queen just before the game starts, probably around 6:40, 6:45, something like that. And then Saturday night is the big homecoming dance, so everybody's excited about that, and that's kind of the big deal going on this week. So thank you.
Okay, awesome. Okay, we'll move on to item 8, board committee reports. Finance Facilities Committee. Did May meet?
Did not.
Nope.
Okay. Well, Career Center, I did get an email from Deb. However, they didn't share the document with me for the notes for Dr. Smith's, so I will get that next time for us. But I've requested to be part of that now, so hopefully we'll get that taken care of in the future. So doesn't look like we've got any old business to discuss. New business, item 10, some personnel items. Looks like we've got some substitutes. The mentors, they've named the mentors for the upcoming school year. Supplemental contracts. There. Looks like a lot of assistant coaches maybe. Looks like that's coming up for the upcoming sporting season. We did get a couple resignations, I think. Yep, transfer. Okay, yeah, just all personnel items there. I need a motion to accept those personnel items, please.
Ledley.
Ledley, thank you. And a second?
Dick.
Dick, we got Dick Claire first. Any other discussion? Okay, looks like just some simple hiring. Okay, let's go ahead and have a vote.
Mrs. Heidinger?
Yes.
Mr. Ledley?
Yes.
Mr. Carmine? Mr. Dick?
Yes.
Mr. Hensel?
Yes.
Okay, item 11, authorization of resolutions. Agreement between Wood County, USC, Kent City Schools. Volunteers. Looks like we've got 5 donations there. We thank everybody for the donations. We really appreciate those. Looks like we're redoing the agreement for the health partners, just in the continuation of what we
Yes, and that's gone really well. Matter of fact, we were able to add a new behavior health counselor at the middle school this year.
Awesome. And then item 11G, approval of the authorization of the architectural agreement for the ESSER project, which we discussed. Well, that's the first category 2 request I've seen in a little while, so we've got one for that. Awesome. MOU there. Just some contracts between North Central Ohio ESC. There's a lot of reading involved in this one.
I know.
11O is just all about the substitute teaching.
Substitute
Yep.
teaching stuff that Governor DeWine put in place, okay. That's just where I was at. Okay. We need a motion to accept these authorizations and resolutions.
Heidinger.
Thanks, Tasha. Is there a second?
Hansel.
Pencil, thanks, Rodney. Okay, any other discussion, questions on any of that? I know we've already mentioned it. Okay.
That 220 or 255, that's just for the employing Garmin Miller, right?
Yeah,
That's okay. Just making sure I understood that right.
for the extra stuff, yeah.
Yep, for building,
Yep. for
part A of the high school, yeah,
the
building A.
school- The high school.
Yep.
Okay, let's go ahead and have a vote then, please.
Mr. Ludley,
Yes.
Mr. Carmine,
Yes.
Mr. Dick,
Yes.
Mr. Hensel,
Yes.
Mrs. Heidinger.
Yes.
Okay, item 12, adjournment, 7:21. The next regular Board of Education meeting will be held on October 17th, 2022 at 7 p.m. here. Please bring cake, cookies, and everything, because that's my birthday.
Oh, yes.
Settle request.
Woohoo.
And that's it. Thanks so much, everyone.
Is there